What I'm about to share with you are the top news for this week. On the 17th of July 2026, Andy Burnham became the leader of the Labour Party. Now, this Monday, which is going to be the 20th of July 2026, is going to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Now, some top news are capturing the political climate right now. It says that rivalry leaders swam as Andy Burnham prepares for hostile welcome as Prime Minister. You know how it is in the House of Parliament. If you watched any of their sessions, it's always heated, like everybody talks, and is really crazy out there. Now, here it says Labour MPs tell Burnham to water down Mahmoud's migration reforms. Backbenchers criticize Home Secretary's hostile rhetoric about immigration in a letter to Macclesfield MP. Many people have had various opinions on what Andy Burnham is likely to do until he's in power. We don't know what he's going to do. It says here, your money under Andy Burnham, taxes, pensions, stamp duty, explain. There are new changes we are expecting when Andy Burnham becomes the Prime Minister, but this particular aspect is what I want to draw your attention. In case you want to buy property or anything that has to do with property, it says here, will Andy Burnham scrap stamp duty? It's now established that Andy Burnham thinks the UK's property taxation regime, including council tax and stamp duty, is outdated. In a bid to consolidate and simplify the system and raise money for the Treasury in the process, one option available to Andy Burnham is scrapping stamp duty and council tax in favour of a proportional property tax based on land valuations. Rachel Reeves was under pressure to do this last year at her autumn budget, but didn't go through with the idea. Will Burnham do what she didn't? That is the question they're asking. Now, this is with regards to your council tax and stamp duty. They want to scrap it, but whatever the value of your property is, they want to tax you based on that. It's going to be 0.48% of your home's total value per year. So go and do that calculation. Compare that with how much you are currently paying for council tax. Every year you are going to pay that amount. That's what they are saying. They are saying that this will replace the current lump sum stamp duty and traditional council tax, with rates doubling to 0.96% for second homes, empty properties, or home owned by overseas buyers. Guys, what do you think? Write it in the comments. This next heading by Fortune says Dr. Doom, that's what they called him. Robini says we are headed for universal basic income or some form of socialism as AI revolutionizes work. He calls that optimistic. Now, what they are saying is as AI becomes stronger, one day AI will do all the work and we will not need to work. That's what they are saying. I'm not the one saying this. We will not need to work. So for us to earn a keep or something like that, they will just give everybody money in the system. And before that time, I'm trying to say that, hey, go and fill in gaps in your national insurance in case, because I know how the government behaves. When they want to give people money, they always consider those people that contributed, not those people that did not do anything at all. Just fill in gaps in your national insurance so that you can qualify for state pension. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying any other thing. This is not financial advice. I'm not saying Dr. Doom is right. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm just saying you should just prepare for the future. Now, next, it says here that how much first-time buyers need to earn for a £200,000 mortgage. Now, if you want to buy a property, I want to show you their calculation. This is by Mortgage Bridge. It says lenders typically estimate how much to earn for a £200,000 mortgage using income multiples, often ranging between 4 and 4.5 times annual salary. For example, a single applicant might need an income of around £44,000 to £50,000 to reach a £200,000 borrowing level, depending on the lender. Joint applicants may combine incomes, meaning two applicants earning £25,000 each could potentially meet similar borrowing criteria. However, these figures are only a starting point and may vary significantly. So just prepare yourself that whatever you want to borrow multiply your income by 4.5 or 4. I've heard of some people doing times 5. You could be lucky and they'll give you that, but just prepare ahead of time. The next headline, it says HMRC issues update on state pension tax error that affected 1.4 million pensioners. Now, I don't know who is watching this video, but I've always told you to check gaps in your national insurance contribution. Also, check for any errors in your dashboard. If there's something wrong, contact HMRC and they will rectify it. Always check this thing every year. I have a step-by-step video on how to go about this. You can check the comments and yeah. Be vigilant, guys. Don't leave money on the table. Next, it says UK workers face growing retirement savings gap. New reports show only 9% of people are on track for a comfortable old age. Rising costs mean a single person now needs £45,400 a year to afford regular travel and dining out. It's going to be difficult. Retirement poverty is real. That's why I've been talking to you guys about opening a SIP, having a workplace pension and matching your employer's contributions and checking your state pension. Guys, don't be left behind. I just feel it's very important that I talk about this all the time. Next, it says UK tech advocates alarmed by Burnham plan to scrap technology department. See, there's a new power coming in on Monday. We don't know what is going to take place, but everybody comes with their own style of governing, their own style of policies. Just prepare yourself and adapt. That's all I can say. Last week, I told you all about the high yield savings account from Santander. This is a new one. Bank of Scotland launches bumper 8% interest savings account. 8% sounds like a good deal. Go and check it out, find out the limitations, and if you have any project, car or whatever you're planning to achieve soon, just use it. Next, it says new life-saving drugs offer hope for patients with rare blood cancer. This is a fantastic news. If you know anybody that has died from any of these blood cancers, you know how horrible it is. It can tear many families apart. Many people become orphans. It's not funny at all. So I welcome such developments. Well done to the NHS and everybody who has worked hard on this. It says here, college majors with the highest unemployment rate in a tough job market. Is no longer news that AI is taking over. The market is bloody and you have to be selective of what course you want to pursue. It says here anthropology, computer engineering, the software developers, they are taking their jobs like water, fine arts, performing arts, computer science, architecture. Guys, prepare your children. Next, it says nearly 4,000 humanities jobs lost in a year. Here are the Russell Group unis making cuts, and go and watch this. Go and read this. Watch it, read it, whatever it is. Read about what is happening in the UK. I'm going to end this with this particular article by the Telegraph. It says midlife redundancy was devastating. He applied for many jobs and he wasn't finding it difficult to get a job. I assumed I had the experience to walk straight into another job. Instead, endless rejections left me depressed and anxious for my future. Howard Hunt, 52, from Lincolnshire, worked in high-profile roles in the public sector before being made redundant at 43. He tells a story. Go and read about it. Find out that it's affecting everybody. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. The job market is crazy. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.